But let's begin outside the New York courthouse with the New York hush money cover-up conspiracy case. CNN's Paula Reed's there. And Paula, it's a wrap on day one of testimony from Michael Cohen, the most critical witness in this case. So far, is this going the way that the prosecution hoped?
Yes, so far, Jake, it's been going well for prosecutors. Michael Cohen laid out how long before he announced his candidacy for the White House, Trump was worried that stories from other women would come out in the open and potentially impact his candidacy. Now, Michael Cohen also testified how involved he was in suppressing negative stories ahead of the election and how, in the wake of the Access Hollywood tape, he facilitated that hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. He testified that Trump told him, don't worry, you'll be reimbursed. And then towards the end of the day, we got to the really critical part of his testimony for prosecutors, which is that he testified that Trump was aware of the scheme to reimburse him by making it all seem like legal expenses and to really increase the amount he was being paid back so that he didn't, of course, he didn't have to pay taxes, so that he would be made whole. What's not clear, Jake, though, is if Cohen's testimony is proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump was aware that business records were going to be falsified. And, of course, Cohen's testimony still has a long way to go. This was certainly not easy for him or for the prosecution, but it really is the easy part. Because after they get through 2017 and the receipt of this reimbursement, then they're going to have to walk through how Cohen eventually flipped on Trump. How he also pleaded guilty to federal crimes, including lying to Congress, lying to the IRS, lying to banks, also election crimes related to this hush money scheme. And then he has to talk about how he has relentlessly attacked the defendant for years and really made a living doing that. So far it's been going okay, but, you know, it's only going to get more difficult both for Cohen and prosecutors tomorrow morning when they're back.
All right, Paula Reed, thanks. Let's discuss with Wall Street Journal reporter Corinne Ramey and defense attorney Bernarda Villalona. Both were in the courtroom today. Also here with me in studio, former U.S. Attorney Michael Moore. So, Bernarda, let me start with you. You were in the room. You're an attorney. How is Michael Cohen coming across on the stand, do you think? How receptive does the jury seem to him?
Jake, Michael Cohen definitely, I think, was excellent on the stand, but you expected that because it's home court advantage when you're talking about the prosecution doing the direct examination of Michael Cohen. His cadence was important. His delivery was important. He was making eye contact, especially when he was talking about taking out that home equity loan. So I think he definitely came off credible. In the end, the one line that sticks out to me is just like Nike, just do it. And that was the theme that Donald Trump gave to Michael Cohen. Just do what you need to do. I think the prosecution was essential and crucial through Michael Cohen because they finally provided that link that Donald Trump authorized these payments, and the payments were for the purposes of affecting that campaign, of the purposes of paying off Stormy Daniels because they knew that story will affect the campaign. So Michael Cohen did deliver, but again, this is only direct examination. We have to see how he stands up doing cross-examination. I'm not concerned about his prior record. It hasn't come in yet, but I know when it does come in, I'm never concerned with that because I put on witnesses with a criminal record longer than my arm, being a former prosecutor of 16 years. So just do it. That's the line of the day.
Corinne, what did you think? How do you think Michael Cohen came across, and how receptive do you think the jury was based on their body language and their facial expressions and how much they were paying attention?
Well, I think jurors had heard so much about Michael Cohen before Michael Cohen even appeared on the stand. They'd heard he was a jerk. They heard he was a pants-on-fire type of guy that basically nobody liked him. And then today, they met the real Michael Cohen, and he didn't seem like a jerk or even a pants-on-fire type guy. He was straightforward. He was matter-of-fact. He had an awful lot of yes, ma'am, no, ma'am type answers to questions. And I think, you know, I spent a lot of time looking at the jury today trying to figure out what those people were possibly thinking. Because some of them looked at Cohen, some of them took notes, some of them looked away. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure, but they were paying attention. They weren't just sort of ignoring him and thinking about other things.
Michael Moore, do you think the prosecution has proven its case?
I don't think they have. Cases are like a roller coaster, and you may have a good day, and you may have a good direct examination of a witness, and then cross-examination comes, and you sort of drop to the bottom again. And I think that's where they are. The idea that sort of Trump is saying, do what you just do and take care of it, I don't think that's really crosses the line of where the prosecution needs to be. And I say that because they also talked about Alan Weisselberg and his input into what would be done and setting up the company, and even the tape recording that we heard from Cohen when he tape recorded his client, which I thought was ridiculous. But, that to me was sort of it really cut both ways, frankly, I think more for the defense, because it says, I've talked to Alan, everything's fine, this is what we're going to do. And then he tells the jury today, and the court, he says, I told Trump and I kept him up to date on everything that was going on, except the fact that he was taping him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's lying again. He's already started lying again. So I don't think they've gotten there. They've got to get to the place where they say, look, Trump knew that the records were going to be falsified. He had actually some input and direction into that specific part, not just paying off, his former relationship, but, that he had a real hand in falsifying these records or directing someone to do that, not just to sort of clean up his mess that was outside of his marriage.
Bernarda, some of the legal experts we've had on the show have been talking about the missing witness theory, of the opportunity that the defense could say, well, given all the references to Alan Weisselberg, the former CFO of the Trump Organization, that the defense could say when they want to, and why didn't the prosecution call him? Where is he? Supposedly he's intricately involved in the scheme. Ask yourself why he wasn't asked to testify. Do you think that's a real threat?
It's definitely a concern because it's an unanswered question. And the reason why is because Alan Weisselberg, his name is being mentioned all throughout Michael Cohen's testimony. And also the only other person that can corroborate what Michael Cohen is saying about that crucial meeting where Donald Trump was there and Alan Weisselberg was there, and he was explaining of how he was going to disperse these payments. So the only person that can corroborate that is Alan. So the way to go about it, I think what the prosecution has to do, and remember that Judge Merchan made mention of this on Friday, is that what steps have you taken to try to compel him to come in and testify? Because the judge is not allowing the agreement that the prosecution had asked for. The way to go about it is that the prosecution, which I've done before because you could get a material witness order, is that they should have a detective get in contact with Alan at Rikers Island, have Alan tell them, I'm not coming to testify. I'm going to exercise my Fifth Amendment privilege. I'm not cooperating. Then you call that detective to the stand, and that detective, you ask him, did you meet with this man? Yes. Where did you meet with him? At Rikers Island. Did you ask him whether he will come in and testify willfully? He said no, he's not willing to cooperate. And that way you close that hole, because it's easy to tell a jury and sell to them, of course he's not going to cooperate. He's a co-conspirator. In for a penny, in for a pound. All three of these people had a role to play, and when you put it together, the conspiracy, because not every one of them has to have done each and every part of the conspiracy, that's how you get to a guilty verdict. The prosecution has to know, though, how to argue it during closing arguments and how to present that evidence about Mr. Weisselberg being missing.
Corinne, Michael Cohen, of course, has a slew of social media posts insulting Donald Trump, some of them in rather crude and personal terms. You're reporting that the defense will likely point to these social media posts. Is the prosecution going to try to get ahead of that in some way, or have they at all? Did they at all today in court?
That's a good question. They haven't today, but I would expect they would. I mean, realize we're only at, say, early 2017 here, so the prosecution still has a ways to go. But yes, I think what we saw with Stormy Daniels is the prosecution raised some of those social media posts before cross-examination. And I think because we can expect a similar thing with Cohen and Cross, that they'll go after just all these sort of names he's called Trump, the crude posts, the TikTok videos, the podcast and the books, that this will, especially once Cross starts, that this will be a major line of questioning.
And Michael, did you hear anything from Michael Cohen today that you expect the defense to seize on when it's their turn for cross?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned the part about where he was lying about saying that I had kept Trump up to date, but didn't tell anybody.
Right.
You know, and I think they better address this issue with the media posts and all that. I mean, I think that's going to be a big deal. And I think the prosecution better do it. I mean, if you know your own witness is going to get beat with a ball bat, it's better to take the fly swatter to him first yourself. And so that's what they need to do to sort of disarm the defense. I think the Alan Weisselberg issue is going to remain. Because, you know, we've been hearing his testimony really through some statements that Cohen's been getting in. And I'm surprised that, I mean, that would typically be some hearsay objections, I think. And so that to me will be an issue. And if the prosecution tries to come back, I think the defense will be able to say, wait a minute, they could have cut a deal with him. They chose not to do that. And instead, the only one they're giving you is the guy who's already admitted not telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I think that's something they'll ride all the way in. So Cohen will be, they'll have their day with him. And I think that any feelings of empowerment maybe that the state feels right now after some simple direct examination, I think you'll see sort of their legs cut out from under them when they get to cross.